please?
Okay,
Vocabulary number unit 2. All right,
Yeah.
let's start.
Hello everyone, my name is Prasimia and today I have a presentation and the topic is talking about my favorite food. My favorite food is bitter melon soup with pork. I love it because it is tasty, flavorsome and healthy. I like to eat it with my family, but occasionally I enjoy eating alone. The pork that is filled with bitter melon is mixed with a lot of ingredients that make this food have a special flavor. Its flavor is typically bitter. The smell is great and it influences my mood and makes me feel happy. When I eat it, I remember when I eat it for the first time. I just try a small portion. It is very bitter and disgusting. I don't like it. But when I eat it the second time, it is not disgusting and I think it is so yummy and a little bit spicy because my mom, when she cooks, she used pepper. The bitter melon is tender and easy to chew and swallow. I have eaten it at another place, but the taste is not like my mom's cooked. Yes. Bitter melon soup with pork is not only my favorite food, but it's also a healthy food. And the last but not least, I will give you some advice. I think some people maybe don't like this food, but you should try to eat it because it is healthy food and also tasty. And the taste of the food is important, but the nutrition is more important. When you eat healthy food, you will get healthy. Now, this brings me to the end of the topic. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much. Simple, easy, just one a few minutes done. Okay.
At least she improved the vocabulary.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't know the vocabulary.
Okay, time please. Time. How many minutes?
Time 2 minutes.
3 minutes. All right.
Two.
Two.
Yeah. Yes. She start at the 10:54 and finish in the 10:56.
So fast.
Okay. Molina, you missed a few vocab, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
But,
Someone interrupt.
Someone interrupted you.
Yeah.
But told me
someone will call in and then. So I got only portion and nutrition.
All right. So good job. Yeah. She included so many vocabulary in her speaking. That is something very impressive to me, right? Typically, right? Occasionally, mix, flavor, disgusting, ingredient. Lot. I would say most of the vocab were used correctly. Good job. As well as your adjective orders. So she also described by using a few adjectives at the same time, and yep, they were all in correct orders. So yeah, pretty impressive to me for this presentation. However, you missed out a few quantifiers. I think you better include some quantifiers as well with your speaking. And one big mistake here. You tended to mix all the tenses in your speaking. So sometimes you use past simple, while sometimes you also used present simple, which were not the correct tenses. Right? So keep in mind whenever you were talking or you are talking about experiences, past simple plays a role, right? For example, let's say you remember talking about eating your watermelon soup for the first time. So that should be your experience. All of them must be in present simple, past simple tense.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
All right, very good. However, so my recommendation, there is only one thing that I want you to be more careful is the tenses that you are going to use if you're speaking. Present past. You know, when you are speaking, I would say there are only a few tenses that significant: past, present, maybe future. So distinguish the differences between the few tenses correctly and implement them or use them in the tenses carefully. But in overall, good job. Oh, another thing is too short. I would like to hear something longer.
Yes, I know.
All right. Okay. Good job, Pia. So, Pia, you leave early, very early.
I can listen Paulina one more.
Okay. Thank you. Then, Molina, you still have another audience here.
Sure.
So one, you still keep your role again, time, and yeah, you will help me with the vocabulary that Molina will include in her speaking. Okay, Molina, are you ready?
Yes, sure, I'm ready.
All right, should we start now then?
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, teacher. Today I'm going to present about my favorite dish. My favorite Cambodian dish is fish sour soup. Cambodian called Snao Chua Trei Cao. It's the best cuisine capital from my village in Kampong Cham province and Kampong Cham region. But the delicious Trei Cao is come from Mekong River. We all add fish more than we add meat, red meat. The best time you can buy that fish is from November to March. My mom taught me how to cook the dish when I was young, and I was influenced by her ingredient until now. The method we use to cook this dish is very simple. First, you clean the fish and cut it in few pieces, and then put the fish in the boiling water for at least 5 minutes, or if you are at risk of getting sick. Next, add the garlic and lemongrass, and then finish with the sugar, salt, and fish sauce. When the water boils for second time, you turn off the heat. Finally, put the fish soup in the bowl, in a big bowl, add more lime juice and herb. And then taste the soup. It should taste sweet and sour. Then finally, the dish can serve with rice. Every time I consume that portions, it reminds me of my hometown and make me feel homesick. This is my favorite dish when I grown up from my village in Kampong Cham. Every time the Trei Cao season, I always go and buy it and eat it with my family, and then remind me of my mother who passed away about 10 years ago.
All right.
Yeah, this is the end of my favorite dish presentation. So I hope you know what Trei Cao is. You know, normally Trei Cao is Trei Cao is normally for young people. They don't like to eat because a lot of bones.
Yeah.
But when you're older, it's very nice to try it.
All right.
Also, very fresh.
Okay.
Okay, this is my favorite dish.
Okay. You feel?
Yeah. And then you can try it out after after presentation.
All right. Thank you very much. So,
Thank you.
After you presented, how do you feel? Do you feel relief now?
I'm okay. I think it's something simple. I don't feel like panicking. If you ask me to talk about technology, yes, I might feel like, oh God, what I'm gonna presentation.
You know what? Let's say whenever you haven't done the task, I believe that you will feel something, right? Okay, this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Not
So
only Molina. I believe everyone.
so I believe that after you present it out, I was like, okay, I finally completed the task that the teacher assigned like 2 weeks ago, and I feel so.
I don't feel relief yet until what, 2 more to go or 1 more to go.
Yeah. There are a few more to go. At least you have done a few. Wow, so one.
Yeah,
You know. All right.
it's the one still.
I will talk about it later. Let me hear the report first. So, how many minutes?
Molina spent 3 minutes.
Okay. Here. How about the vocabulary?
Vocab, influence, method, at
Mhm.
risk,
Mhm.
control, and just that's it.
Region as well, right? Portion, consume. Okay, so yep, Molina also included so many words as well. Quantifiers, I didn't hear much. Adjective order was good. I got a few. That's fine to me. Okay, Molina, there was a bit, a few problems in the speaking, a few problems only. And what I concern the most is the pronunciation of some words.
Pronunciation.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got my point.
Method. I knew it, that method and at risk.
Okay, let me. I draw. Sorry, I will just talk about 2 words only that I think it's better for you to correct, and it also doesn't happen to you only. I also, keep hearing from a few more students, some students too. This is what I just done. A lot of students pronounce this word wrong.
Coach.
So how do you pronounce this word?
Hot.
Again, what?
Hot.
All right. So to simplify, Molina, you will just run like this.
Oh, so I forgot like HP the end.
So there is no ch. We don't say touch. We say thought.
Thought. Oh, I see.
The same
Okay,
goes,
okay.
okay. The same goes with other words that have similar patterns. For example, we still have a few more like this word. All right, the same pronunciation: thought, got. Okay. So those are like the same pattern and the same pronunciation. No ch, no ch. And again, not only you makes this mistake. Lots of students do. And now I hope you better correct it next time. One more.
Observe.
Observe. Serve. Okay,
Serve.
Right, serve. So for example, finally it is served with rice, or you can serve it with rice, something like that. Okay? So what you need to be careful about, this and this, something that you must be careful with your pronunciation. So I specifically focus on these 2 sounds, s and z, and you can know the differences between these 2 sounds if you can check the dictionary quite often to see the pronunciation pattern or to see the phonetic symbol. For example, let's say this one. Okay, let's say this one and this one. Okay, Pia, if you are pretty busy, you can leave. Sorry to see you go.
Yes, sir.
So this one, okay, and I would say lots of English learners maybe don't focus or don't really pay attention to these differences. This we pronounce. How do you pronounce this word?
This.
So how do you pronounce this word?
S.
What is the ending sound?
S.
S.
Right. It ends with Z sound. Well, this one ends with X sound. You see? So his and miss
His.
are different, right?
His.
So what you can notice, you know, it doesn't really happen that way 100%, but I would say 60 to 70% of spelling go with what I will show you. So when the spelling is S, single S, only one S, usually or often pronunciation is Z sound at the end. Single S. While double S, pronunciation of the ending sound goes with letter goes with S sound. Miss, kiss, with, right? Something like that. Again, not 100% go with what I'm saying, but I would say 60% of the word ends with single S, we pronounce Z, and with double S, we pronounce S. Okay, so this is some clue or tip for you. And the other thing with, you know, speaking skill, fluency, and accuracy, all good with Wong Lina. Yep, you shifted the tenses flexibly. Good job with that, and I have no worry about that. So my concern, my biggest concern, is only pronunciation with Wong Lina. Even though it was not a really big mistake, because when we listen, we still can understand each other, right? However, I just want you to upgrade and make it perfect.
Thank you. I will do.
And Soban, okay. Talking about Soban, you know, there's so many things to do. Writing, speaking, and even we have a quiz last week. So Soban, for speaking, you don't need to wait until next week. So you can just give me the recording when you are done. For example, let's say you are free at Friday night, for example, or Wednesday night. You just record a video clip, a very short video clip talking about your presentation, and send me. That's it. We don't need to have that in class. Okay, so what I'm talking about is when you can just do step by step, okay? Bit by bit, right?
Yes, I'm trying my best to complete it.
Hopefully, I can receive your best soon. All right, so there are only two today. Sad. Today we are going to start the unit 3 in the listening book. 3. Yeah. Unit 3 in the listening book. So everyone, please go to our book, listening book, unit 3, psychology. Wait, let me check my document. Okay, so unit 3, so when can you read the unit objective on page 53?
A minute, teacher. 53.
Unit objective.
Unit objective: listen to the talk and an interview and gather information and ideas to participate in the group discussion about change.
Okay, so you are going to listen to a talk and interview and get information and ideas to discuss change. Okay, so you will discuss about change, and this is going to be the group discussion. Okay, so and it's going to be your speaking project number 3 as well, but I will not introduce now. We will talk about that next week. And in the unit 3, you know, we have a few skills here that we should focus on, and you should also know. Is note-taking skill is taking notes on advantages and disadvantages. So basically in the unit 3 here, they will focus much on, you know, advantages and disadvantages of something. Listening skill is listening for time markers. Okay? So for time markers, that's something you should know as well, what time markers are. And vocabulary is about using the dictionary. I don't think it's, you know, difficult for you. And the grammar is tag questions. Tag questions. It's not new, but maybe you make mistake. I believe that in tag questions. Pronunciation, intonation in tag question, and speaking is asking for and giving reason. All right. So now let's get into our unit question. Is change good or bad? Before we get into the unit question discussion, I want you to listen to the Q Classroom Online. Q Classroom Online. How the student answer this question. So, so one you will focus on Marcus and Felix, both male students, while Molina you will focus on Sophie and Yuna, both women. So what will they respond? What will they answer to this question? Let's start.
Unit 3, Psychology, the Q Classroom.
The Unit 3 question is change good or bad? So what are some of the big changes you've made in your life recently? Marcus?
I moved here and started college.
Has that been a good change or a bad change for you?
A good change. I'm more independent now.
What about change in general? Have the changes in your life been good for you or bad for you? Yuna?
Good. I lost my job and was very sad, but now I am here, going to school full-time and happy.
So sometimes a change that seems bad at first turns out to be a good thing. Do you agree, Sophie? Is change usually a good thing?
Well, changes in my life have usually been good, like moving or starting a new school. But sometimes changes in society aren't good, like when the crime rate goes up or the environment becomes polluted.
Okay, let's talk about changes in society. The world has changed a lot since your parents were your age. Have most of those changes been good or bad? What does that say about change in general? Felix?
I think most changes have a good side and a bad side. My mom would say that people today spend too much time sitting at the computer and not enough time talking face to face or getting out. But it's also true that I can stay in touch with my friends all over the world in a way she never could. So there are really two ways to look at most changes.
Okay, so hopefully you got their response. Start with the first speaker, which was Marcus. All right, so what did Marcus say? What change has he made in life?
I changed, moved, and studied college.
All right, so he moved. Basically, he is a foreign student, so he moved from his home country to here and started the college.
Yes.
Is it a good or bad change for Marcus?
He said it's good because it makes him more independent.
All right, more independent now, so he can rely on himself a lot. How about Yuna, Bonlina? Have the changes in her life good?
Yeah. She's been changing. She was sad that she lost her job, but she's happy now when she go her full-time school.
Okay, so she lost her job and she was so unhappy. Now she's good because she is going to the school full-time. And Sophie,
Sophie, she said change her life is good, but change of society is not good.
Mm-hmm. So
bad.
In her life, she experiences good change a lot, but in society, sometimes not good. What example did she raise up on?
She said about you moving to area with crimes, which is
crime. All right. So sometimes the crime goes up. It's also change, and environment becomes polluted. Right. Right. So one the last one from Felix.
Felix seems in the mirror. He said most changes of a good side and bad side.
All right. What was his example?
His example about remember about the computer. Seems like science computer.
So he talked about his mom. What did his mom talk about computer or technology?
His mom said, forgot it, but probably she said it's bad.
Yep, her mom, sorry, his mom said that because of computer or technology, people spend less time to each other, right? While for Felix, disagree because he said because of technology, keep in touch.
Yeah, keep in touch with friends.
Okay, so yep, technology or change, sorry, not technology, but changes have always two sides, bad and good effects, right? We call two sorts. And now I want you to also share your change with each other. I mean, two of you will share. You will go to the room, okay, talk without me, and share two changes. One is a good change for your life, and another one is a bad change. So bad change refers to like you changed, but you got the bad results. It was not what you expected. Understand? Got it, right, Bongina? Okay. So I will give you the room. You can go, like maybe you will spend 10 minutes there. Okay, go to the room.
In the last years, I decided to change the workplace. I mean, move from another old company to the new company. Yes, it's I can't say it's good and bad at the same time, because moving to another new place, I need to try adapt with the new environment.
Sure.
A new relationship with my coworkers. Another thing to learn, just like a new system, another system to adapt. Yeah, but it's a good thing for me. So now I can adapt with it. And then my relationship with my college is good. I try to adapt with a new system, new environment, and especially salary increasement.
Okay, that's great. So you changed for good, basically, even though there were some obstacles along the way or some problems along the way. That's great. How about Marlena? Tell me one change that you have made, either good or bad.
A good and bad, sure.
Okay, what is it?
First, I sold the house too cheap, and then I built a new house, which is very nice.
You sold the house too cheap?
Yeah. I have a house right in the central. And then I sold it very cheap because I want to buy like a piece of land in Tak Mau right now. And then I sold my house, and then like after a few years later, my house price gone up like 15 times of the price I sold.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
but I'm happy to move to Tak Mau because like we have like land, like we have garden in the house to running around.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
that's good. It's good move.
But you are not living there, right? I mean, at the land, because you moved.
I was living there for a few years.
I see.
But now I moved back to the central.
Again. Okay.
Again. Yeah.
That we call life cycle. Go back and forth, repeat the same thing again and again. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this, yep, I believe whenever we decide to change something, just like Sivan said, we need time to adapt to new things. So during the adaptation period, probably we get so many obstacles. Some people even give up along the way, and some overcome the obstacles and they can be successful and receive the good results at the end. Okay, so now I will just stop discussion talking about change here, but I want you to check your vocabulary in the listening one on page 56. This is the vocab list on page 56, listening one, changing expectations. Changing expectation, and you can see the vocabulary exercise on page 58, 58 and 57. Oh, sorry, 58 and 59. This one, matching the definition. Matching the definition. So earlier, Savan also used the word in the vocab list, but it was not correctly used yet. So hopefully, this vocab will help you to form a new, a better vocabulary speaking. So please do the exercise for me a little bit, everyone. Match the words with the correct definitions. You got 10 words: crisis until suffer. All right, you finished? One, Bong?
Almost finished.
Almost finished.
I think we can start.
Okay, we can start. Number one, when the economic crisis started. So what does the crisis mean?
As I choose the letter C. A time of great danger or difficulty.
All right, that's correct. A crisis, right? The time of great danger or difficulty. Right? For example, let's say a few years ago, and on let's say last year or even a few years ago, most of the people or most of the businesses were in crisis, right? Some lots of them closed down because of the COVID-19 crisis. Two, Molina, Tina couldn't handle. So handle.
Handle, I think letter F.
Letter.
To control or deal with someone or something.
Okay, letter F, right? Handle, to deal with something. For example, let's say, stay aside, let me handle this problem. Get out or stay here. Let me deal with this problem. So then, how about last one is, that's the last one, number 3. When Brian left his small village to live in the city, it took him a few months to adapt.
Letter A is to change your behaviors because the situation you are in has changed.
All right, adapt. So you change your behavior because of the situation. And so when we usually say adapt to something, adapt to, not adapt with. Right? For example, when you move to the new company, you need time to adapt to the new environment, right? To adapt to the new workplace. Okay. Molina, we are curious.
Curious. Curious is the attitude. So it should be completely satisfied and happy.
Okay.
E.
Okay, not correct one.
That's okay. Then I then staying in the same over the period of time.
I think the
D, wanting to know something. Okay, you see, curious is an attitude, and there are 3 attitudes here, and Molina chose 2 and 2 all
wrong too.
Okay, so curious means like you always want to know something, right? Let's say, I would say I am a curious person. You know, I always want to know something, and then I do research. And you also can say curious about something. My nephew is always curious about everything around him because he's just like 2 years old, so he's always curious. 5. So when study has developed steady and reliable relationship.
And study, I choose letter E, completely satisfied and happy.
Okay, very good. It's not correct. it's letter I. So study means staying the same, or keep continue, but continue in the same progress, not going up too much. All right, steady. For example, I think even though in COVID-19 pandemic, our company or our business still have a steady income, simple as the same income compared to last month, even though it's not increasing too much. It's steady. Or let's say in the last 10 years, our country experienced the steady growth, moving up step by step, steady, right? But not too much, not too much. Let's say last year 70% economic growth, this year also 70%, another year is also 70% and steady. 6, well, I felt fulfilled.
I choose B, a lot.
B, E?
B.
Well, fulfilled is an attitude.
I choose E.
Oh, good job. You choose
completely satisfied and happy.
There is only one adjective left. Does it fulfilled mean you are satisfied and happy with what you have or with what you get? It completes your desire, right? For example, let's say, I believe, you know, every parent, they will feel fulfilled or they are fulfilled when they see their kids have good job, have good family, right? They feel so happy and so satisfied. Fulfilled. 7. There were more than 3 applicants for the position.
Letter H. A job.
All right, position. Yep, a job. I think you already know. For example, now my company has one position available, have one job available. Would you interested? No? Are you interested? Bong, don't you agree that keeping things the same is considerably easier? Considerably.
Letter.
What is a part of speech of the word considerably, Bong?
Adjective.
Adverb.
No, adverb. Sorry.
Here, easy is an adjective. So before adjective, you can use also adverb.
Adverb. B, sir.
All right. So when you know the part of speech, it's easy for you to decide, right? So considerably is a lot or much. Okay? So let's say, doing this exercise, okay, or this exercise is considerably more difficult than the previous test. Okay? So much difficult than considerably. And you usually use with adjective, right, to describe the adjective. Considerably, a lot or much. So after I borrowed money from a parent, I had to justify. So justify means
Justify means to give or be a good reason for something.
All right. So if you justify something, it means that you are trying to give the good reason in order to make it correct, right? Justify. So let's say, I believe that domestic violence. You know the word domestic violence, right? The violence happen in the family. Domestic violence cannot be justified. You cannot say that domestic violence is good. You cannot prove that it's good, right? This justified. It's all wrong, more or less. Last one, Molina. If you focus too much on the job, your personal relationships may suffer.
Last one, J.
Letter J, to become worse.
Worse.
Okay, suffer means to become worse or to get a lot of loss. For example, let's say during COVID-19, I believe most of the companies and most of the businesses suffer a lot. They become worse and worse. Okay, we got 10 vocabulary, 10 vocab, and now I want you to go check the pronunciation. By the way, do you have any question before we check the pronunciation?
What difference between justify and certify?
Satisfy?
Yeah, certify and justify.
Justify is you explain, right? You explain others to give the good reason. Okay? However, satisfy is an adjective. By the way, how do you spell satisfy? S-A, right?
S-A-T-I-S.
Oh, T-I-S.
Certify.
All right.
T-I-S.
Right. Satisfy. So satisfy means you please someone. Right? For example, let's say I think that parents should not satisfy their kids too much. Please their kids. You know the word please? Well, make them happy.
Yeah.
Agree with them. Give what they need. So I don't think we should satisfy them too much. We should not give something they always want. Okay? But justify means you give the reason. Explain why it's right. Okay.
Sure. Can I say, for example, you try to justify something to get someone satisfied?
Yeah, you can say that. Sometimes you justify something because you want to satisfy that person. All right. For example, let's say, Molina, your boy wants, let's say, $50, and then Bong, you said, okay, before I give you the money, justify. Let's justify. Give me the good reason. Right. So this is the different Bong. Got it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, any question?
No.
Oh, all right. So if there's no question, let's go and check with the pronunciation a little bit. Number one is crisis. Crisis, stress on. Crisis. Number two, handle, stress on hand. Three, adapt. Stress on adapt. Right? Four, curious. Stress on cure. Five, steady. Six, fulfilled. Stress on filled. Second syllable. Seven, position. So you see, SI here pronounce Z. Position. Stress on Z. 8, considerably. Stress on C. Considerably. 9, justify. Stress on just. 10, suffer. Stress on suffer. Okay, Paulina, let's go and with your pronunciation, check quickly.
Crisis, handle, adapt, curious, steady, fulfill, precision, considerably, justify, suffer.
Bong, number 6 again.
Number 6, fulfill.
Wrong stress, Bong. You search on food. We search on field.
Okay, fulfill.
Okay, Bong, drop your voice when you pronounce full. Huh? Fulfill.
Fulfill.
Okay, better. The one.
Crisis, handle, adapt, curious, steady, fulfill, position, considerably, justify, suffer.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So I also have a few more vocabulary for you. Assignment. So please go to your Google document number 1. Bong, can you access to the Google Docs?
I will let you know. Let me try.
All right, so go to the Google document and scroll down to the Unit 3 LS. I already uploaded and updated your document. And you will see there is a vocabulary exercise, sentence completion. Yes, all right. Listening 1, sentence completion, a vocabulary, and there are 20 sentences. Oh, a lot. So it means that you can use one word in 2 sentences. So in order to save time, so what you will do from number 1 to 10, while only now 11 to 20, 10 for each of you.
Okay.
Well, can you access? If you can, I will keep sharing the screen.
I can access, but I see only 10. Reading 3 or this one reading 2. Okay, I get it. No.
See it right, Bong?
Hang on, John. So I see only.
Let me open your document.
No, I seen only Unit 3, reading 2. I didn't see any.
All right, wait.
Listening.
Check. Here, Bong. Go down. Reading 2.
Let's go down.
Okay, it is reading 2, so you keep scrolling down here. This is your document.
Maybe internet. Maybe my internet too.
Okay, so I can just sharing the screen then.
Yeah, maybe.
So Bong 11 to 20 and using our
Okay.
vocab list.
Okay.
Okay, finished. Siobhan, how many sentences more or finished already?
Finish already.
Bong, finished?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's check out all the sentences together. Number one, the children are finding it hard too. Siobhan, was it?
To adapt.
All right, to adapt to, all right? Collocation, adapt to something. Bill took up his new
New professions.
position, all right? Safety might
Fulfill.
field if costs are cut. What happened when costs are cut? The cost is low down. Do you think safety fulfilled? Okay, suffer. Worse.
Suffer.
I knew I had.
Handle.
All right, handle. Yes, sorry. He was
Curious.
curious about ministers must appear before parliament and
I put profession.
you put again position.
Profession. Yeah.
You need a verb. So minister must stand here, blah blah blah, their actions.
Need a verb.
Yep. For example, minister has done this already, and then there is a protest particle. So minister must be here and blah blah, blah their action.
Justify.
All right, justify the action. Explain the action. Conditions have improved.
Number 7.
Adult education helps people achieve more.
More. Let me check my answer. More. Oh, I'm curious, but I think it's no.
You need another attitude, right? More
Considerable. Huh? Oh, more considerable.
lives. I mean, the life that satisfied and happy in their life. So education can bring about those things. Conditions have improved.
Considerably.
Considerably. Okay, very good. Considerably. Over the past few years, we drove all day at
30.
Right. Last one, economic
crisis.
Bon. After living in a house with a garden, it's hard to
Handle.
Handle to. Do we say handle to, Bon? Collocation. So you live in a garden. You live in a house with a garden, and now you moved to live in a flat. What happened? It's hard to.
Hard to. That's what I think is handle.
Adapt. Adapt to change your behavior.
Adapt.
Right. Adapt to something. 12. Economists say they expect continue.
Crisis.
Crisis growth. Well. Nên là attitude vào. Fulfill to grow. We don't say fulfill to grow. We say grow. Grow. Most customers were satisfied with the way their complaints were.
I could justify.
Justify. Okay, it can be justified. It's also correct, but the best one will be. All right. So the customer happy with the way their complaints are dealt or are solved.
Handle.
Right.
Oh.
Bruce is thinking of applying for the
position.
All right. 15. Oil company were heavily criticized when they made large profits during the oil.
Considerably.
Considerably? Not really, but you need a noun.
Crisis.
Crisis, right? So even though in crisis, the company still made a large profit, so they received a lot of criticism. I think if I could write a song that I knew was good, not necessarily a big hit, okay? It's just not a big hit, I would already feel. What word is including? All right, fulfill. The sea turtle's natural habitat has been?
Adapt. That I put adapt.
This is a verb.
It's a verb. It's
what comes before verb?
Suffer.
Comes before verb.
Suffer. Oh,
adverb, right? Comes before verb is an adverb. So the number of sea turtles has been considerably reduced, a lot. Number 18, I'm worried and my work is beginning to
suffer.
Right. No matter what the circumstances, street violence cannot be
justified.
All right. So no matter what circumstances, you cannot justify that street violence is acceptable. Right? Last one. Why do you want to know about Catherine? Oh, no reason. I'm just
curious.
Curious. No reason, just curious. Okay. So this is the practice of the vocabulary. You can just, go over the vocab one more time if you are free to check out, the usage of vocab in the sentences. So we still have 30 minutes, and I think we should go to the listening a little bit before we leave today. So now we will go to the listening one, changing expectation. So please go to page 57, everyone. 57, you will see that they are exercise A and B. A and B. So exercise A, in part A, you will listen to the Gary's talk here talking about the life as a city trader. So I want you to listen, note down the advantages and disadvantages of a city trader. Second part, part B, is the life as a home care assistant. All right, home care assistant. So he changes the job. So Gary changed the job from a city trader to home care assistant. So I want you to listen and note down the advantages of these two jobs. So one, you will handle the home care assistant, while Bondina, you will listen for city trader. Clear?
Okay, sir.
All right. So I will play the listening for you. Let's start with city trader first. Bondina, are you ready? Please take note.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to share the sound. Okay, let's start.
Unit 3, Listening 1, Activity A.
Hello, everyone. My name's Gary McBride, and I'm here to talk to you today about the benefits of downshifting. By downshifting, I mean getting out of the rat race and living a simpler life, one with less power and responsibility, and of course less money, but with more free time and opportunity to enjoy life. It's something we probably all think about from time to time, but I've actually done it. So, thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell you about my experience. A few years ago, I worked on Wall Street for a big bank. I was a typical city trader, buying and selling stocks day after day. And it was very well paid. I mean, I earned hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wore designer clothes, drove a luxury sports car, lived in a huge apartment downtown. I felt like I was king of the world. but there was a price to pay. I couldn't really handle all the stress. I had headaches and stomach problems the whole time. My personal life also suffered, as I was never home to build a steady relationship. And then the financial crisis came along. You remember that, right? Like many others, I lost my job. But instead of looking for work in other companies, retraining, or starting my own business, I felt I needed to do something different. I was curious about the world out there, and I needed to justify my place in it. I needed a change.
Okay, so finally he said he needed to change. Now let's listen to the change that he got. So one is your part now.
Unit 3, Listening 1, Activity B.
So, for 6 months, I traveled around Mexico, then South America, and over to Europe. It gave me the time and space I needed to think about what I wanted to do. And when I got back, I decided to leave Wall Street. I sold my car and my apartment and went to live in a small town in Iowa to be near my parents. After a couple of months, I started looking for work. I earned a lot as a city trader, but I also spent a lot, so I didn't have any savings. I wanted to try something new, something different. The first position I was offered was a home care assistant in the local hospital. It seemed a friendly place, so I took it. These days, I'm still a home care assistant. I go to the homes of sick or elderly people who need help, and I help them wash. I do their housekeeping, prepare their meals. I talk to them. Being a home care assistant is a very different job from what I was doing before. Of course, the salary is considerably lower, so I don't eat out often. I can't buy a new car, and I certainly can't afford an overseas vacation anymore. But you know what? I've adapted, and now I'm very fulfilled. Living life at a slower speed means I have time to make friends. Real friends. I have a better relationship with my family, and I feel healthier too. As a city trader, I was always busy. I only thought about myself. But now, my job is to care for other people, and helping other people has helped me to be a better person. I've achieved the goal I set for myself when I came back from traveling. I finally know what it is to be happy. Now, are there any questions?
Okay, so hopefully you got points from Gary. But let's listen again. But at this time, I will just, no pause in the middle. You just listen as a whole listening.
Unit 3, Listening 1, Activity C.
Hello everyone, my name's Gary McBride, and I'm here to talk to you today about the benefits of downshifting. By downshifting, I mean getting out of the rat race and living a simpler life, one with less power and responsibility, and of course less money, but with more free time and opportunity to enjoy life. It's something we probably all think about from time to time, but I've actually done it. So, thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell you about my experience. A few years ago, I worked on Wall Street for a big bank. I was a typical city trader, buying and selling stocks day after day. And it was very well paid. I earned hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wore designer clothes, drove a luxury sports car, lived in a huge apartment downtown. I felt like I was king of the world. But there was a price to pay. I couldn't really handle all the stress. I had headaches and stomach problems the whole time. My personal life also suffered, as I was never home to build a steady relationship. And then the financial crisis came along. You remember that, right? Like many others, I lost my job. But instead of looking for work in other companies, retraining, or starting my own business, I felt I needed to do something different. I was curious about the world out there, and I needed to justify my place in it. I needed a change. So, for 6 months, I traveled around Mexico, then South America, and over to Europe. It gave me the time and space I needed to think about what I wanted to do. And when I got back, I decided to leave Wall Street. I sold my car and my apartment and went to live in a small town in Iowa to be near my parents. After a couple of months, I started looking for work. I earned a lot as a city trader, but I also spent a lot, so I didn't have any savings. I wanted to try something new, something different. The first position I was offered was a home care assistant in the local hospital. It seemed a friendly place, so I took it. These days, I'm still a home care assistant. I go to the homes of sick or elderly people who need help, and I help them wash. I do their housekeeping, prepare their meals. I talk to them. Being a home care assistant is a very different job from what I was doing before. Of course, the salary is considerably lower, so I don't eat out often. I can't buy a new car, and I certainly can't afford an overseas vacation anymore. But you know what? I've adapted, and now I'm very fulfilled. Living life at a slower speed means I have time to make friends. Real friends. I have a better relationship with my family, and I feel healthier too. As a city trader, I was always busy. I only thought about myself. But now, my job is to care for other people, and helping other people has helped me to be a better person. I've achieved the goal I set for myself when I came back from traveling. I finally know what it is to be happy. Now, are there any questions?
Okay, so now let's listen to your summary, what you got from the listening from Gary. So before we get into the listening, so in the beginning he said what downshifting? Did you get that word earlier? Did you hear that word?
No, but it's shop just like
He said
design something luxury for.
Okay, so in the beginning he said he going to talk about the benefits of downshifting. So downshifting means, he also explained earlier, it means getting out of the rat race. Let me share that a little bit. So he said the benefit of downshifting, and downshifting, it means that getting out of the rat race, living in a simpler life. So what does it mean, the rat race? Rat race. It's an expression, an idiom that you should know. So rat race mean? Anyone knows? Based on the context, based on the sentence I give you, what can you get?
I think a luxury life.
Okay, out of the rat race. So based on the sentence, they say getting out of the rat race, living in a simpler life. So it means that rat race and simpler life and simple life are opposite, right?
Yes.
So rat race refers to the very busy and complicated life. Like you always compete with others in order to win, in order to get income. That we call rat race. Okay? So nowadays, for example, maybe us, or I don't know if it happened to you, but me, I can say I am living in a rat race life, like competing in order to get more income, in order to survive in the society. That we call.
I'm sorry. Can you share screen again? Let me get a screenshot.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's start. Molina, let's share me what is the life as a city trader like. But before we get into that, what is a city trader, Bong?
He's buying stock, selling and buying stock.
So I think you know this kind of career, right? Buying, selling stock, investment, stock market, up and down, something like that. So now let's get into our lesson. What are the advantages of city trader?
he living in a luxury style because he had paid a lot of money.
Mhm.
He's earned 100,000, and he have a sport car. He living
Alright.
in a big apartment.
Mhm. And even wear the designer clothes, designer
Designer
clothes.
clothes. Yeah.
So his life is so luxurious. Right?
Luxury.
It's like he feel like he is a king of the world. But what happened? I mean, what are the prices that he needs to pay in order to return back to
Yeah, and then he feel like he have the price to pay, and he doesn't have time, and he
Okay.
have problem with his relationship.
All right.
That disadvantage.
Okay. So first thing first, his health is not good, right?
Yeah,
He cannot handle.
he got a health problem, price to pay.
All right.
And no time relationship.
Okay. By the way, he said that there was a price to pay. So what does the phrase "price to pay" mean?
I think he must be paid like a apartment, sport car.
All right, that is the direct meaning. So price to pay
Yeah.
here is refer to the disadvantages. So for example, let's say living in a downtown is good, right? Living in a city is good, but there is a price to pay. There is also advantage. You must pay something. So pay here doesn't refer to paying the rent, paying the apartment or whatever. So paying here means you also have the disadvantages. Okay? So in order to get those benefits, you also must receive disadvantages, and that we call price to pay. So, yep, first price to pay is he cannot handle the stress, too much stress. So after he received so much stress, he received the health problem, headaches, stomach problem, right? And also the relationship, he never go back home, so no relationship with family. And then the big problem is financial
crisis.
Right? So there was a big problem. The financial crisis came along, and then he lost everything. He lost a job. But instead of looking for a new job, he started traveling. Right? He was curious about the different life, and after that, he found out he turned or changed to be the home care assistant. So home care assistant, what is the life of home care assistant like, Javan?
A home care assistant is a kind of position that help people or help the people like wash or prepare a meal.
All right.
Yes.
So what can be the advantages of home care assistant?
The advantages is he fulfill. Oh, you refer to I mean a grade or
Grade.
overall? Oh, grade. Grades advantages for him is he fulfill. I mean he's satisfied with the work, and he can make a friend, a real friend.
Real friend, right?
Yes, we have a better relationship with the family.
Good.
And a home care assistant make him a better person. I mean, he find out his dream, what is the happy in life.
How about his health?
Sorry?
How about his health?
Oh, his health. I think it's better for him. I mean,
He also healthier, no stress. He didn't have any stomach ache anymore. But again, there are also price to pay. So what are the disadvantages?
The salary considerably lower.
Considerably lower compared to the city trader. So what else besides the salary?
He didn't have the saving.
Yeah,
didn't have a car.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So basically, all those salaries, I mean, all those problems came from the salary problem. So didn't have car, didn't have the vacation overseas, didn't go out much because his salary could not afford to eat out a lot, right? Okay, so he was willing to change his lifestyle from the city trader who had so much money in hand to be a home care assistant who didn't have money, but he received something else. So let's go back to you. Are you willing to do that, Molina? Molina, are you willing to change this kind of lifestyle?
If you talk about his life, it's for me, I cannot do it. You cannot change like so different from trade dealer to the home care.
You can't, right? It's hard.
I cannot.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard, you know. I would say, you know, money is not everything, right? But when you don't have money, you almost don't have everything. How about Savan? Savan, would you do the same if you are in Gary's situation?
I think no, because it's not time. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm not. I don't answer. It's 100% no, but it's not a time for doing it for me.
All right, it's not a good time to, you know, shift to the kind of career and enjoy the life yet, right?
Yes, because you know I have a lot of things to handle.
Okay, you know, I used to watch one video on social media. He talks about a life of a millionaire. I think he was a millionaire. It's a true story. It happened in the United States. I didn't remember his name or the detailed info, but I got the story. So he was a millionaire, and suddenly he started to feel that his life is not fulfilled. I mean, his life was not fulfilled yet. It's just like he just did like Gary, went out traveling, and then he started to realize that money was not something he needed. So he donated all the money. He donated all the money, and he went out of home. He sold everything, and he did not carry the money at all. He left. I mean, he didn't have a family. He left the house, and he started to live alone. And he started walking around the country, walking. He did not carry any money. He did not carry any gadget. I mean, technological device. No, he just got his own clothes, a few pieces of clothes, and he traveled around the country by walking, on foot, and he did not ask for help. You know, he did not ask for. So he just walked, and if someone gave him a lift, it's fine, and he would go with that person on car. But if no one gave him, he just walked, keep walking, and ate something that he found along the way. No, and he just slept anywhere. Sadly, you know, only a few, I think it happened like 6 or 7 months only, he passed away because of, you know, disease. We don't know what kind of disease he got along the way, because of the food, because of the place, because of no hygiene, or blah blah blah, and he passed away like that. See? So I don't think he made a good change then.
You don't think, but you think it's a good change.
He passed away, you know, too young.
Yeah.
So it's like when they become a millionaire, they say money is not important.
Yeah, that's why Molina said that money is so important for those people who have the money.
Sure, right? And for us, we still need those things, and it's important. You know Jack Ma, right? The billionaire in China.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he always said that he preferred the normal lifestyle that he got, like he had when he was poor. Because now he's rich, that's why he said that.
Yes, also I heard about the owner of the Binance, I mean cryptocurrency. Yes, he planned to donate his money.
Billion of dollars.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the richest man in terms of crypto.
Yeah, he said money is so important.
because like he has too much money and he doesn't know how to spend the money. I mean, those too much money. All right, let's see. You know, but I would do the same if I were like Bill Gates. You know, he did not donate the money, but he used the money to do something else. The research in terms of medicine, helping the poor country in Africa, creating the factory to produce clean water in Africa. That's more helpful, right? Okay, whatever they say is always correct because they are millionaires and billionaires.
Yes, it's a valuable speech.
When you are rich, your mouth or your speech is stronger. Whatever you say is always correct. Okay, so this is about you know, the changes. Sometimes we got the changes that we expected and meant the result, but sometimes we did not. However, some people still never give up and keep up their change and keep up their good work in order to work on their goal. And let's go back to you a little bit. Last question before we leave the class. Molina, do you have any goal, you know, more goal to complete, or you're already fulfilled?
Mean lifestyle?
Yep, life goal.
Yeah, my goal from now, I plan to travel around the world as much as I can.
Ah, that's a good one. You know, how many countries?
You know, when you talk, I just want to say, like, I give some advice, like, in your age, you can make money first. And then when you had enough, like one home, one car, and you have a family, you should save it for travel. Don't save it for show people that you are rich.
Right.
Because like me and my husband, we more focus on traveling, like to see different country, different culture, different people. That's what we plan to do.
Sure, that's something people should do. I mean, we are tired when we are young already because we busy, you know, getting income, building family, and now I think it should be the time for us to enjoy life. I would raise my parents.
Don't wait until you older. Because when you get old, you can't travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still remember what my mom said. You know, she said that both of them, my parents, mom and dad, they tried just to let me and my brother, because we have only 2 siblings, children, finish the school, and if everyone gets a job and has a family, they are fulfilled. They will just not care of anymore. So right now, I think they are a lot happier. They travel a lot. They have, I mean, my mom has that group to travel, and I think next week they're going to traveling again. So good for them.
Good for them. Yeah.
And you say when we were in the business, I mean, my mom was so worried, and she was so, I would say she old, but now she's a little bit younger because she's happy, nothing more to worry. The kids grown up, big family now, and she has no care, you know, nothing to care. That's great, you know, that's what people should do, just like you. What about your life goal? Anything you want to complete, you want to fulfill?
Yes, I have a lot of things.
Tell me
Sorry?
Tell me 1 or 2 then. That's something you want to complete.
I hope I can buy my own house. I'm living in my parents' house, and I hope I can buy a new one. Yes, and complete my degree. I plan to study ACCA in
Oh,
order to fulfill my memory. I mean,
Great.
not fulfill, and currently I'm studying at IFL as well, and then I hope I can finish it.
No, make it finished. You know, those hope comes from you. So if you are determined to make it done, it's done. Trust me.
Yes, because I have work to do. I work, every weekday actually.
Okay.
My work, I can say it's very busy because I do accounting.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so Savan, I wish you that you can just fulfill everything that you wish to, and Molina too. Wish you that you can go to so many countries, as many as possible, and share me as well the experience, because I also wish to
I
go
will
to
too.
some country as well.
Yeah, I want to travel too. My dream is to travel too. And me and my friend have a plan on the November.
Where will you go?
I'm not quite sure yet. Either Singapore or Vietnam.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's good to go outbound, outside the country, to experience new things. Lots of things to experience. Lots of new things that we have never heard and never experienced.
Because 2 years already, we never been abroad.
True, that's true. All right, so thanks for sharing everyone, and I think it should be enough for our talk related to change. And thanks for joining the class today. And now I think it's time for us to have the lunch. You can enjoy the rest of the day, and I will see you on Saturday next week.
See you next week.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.